This is a bonus video. It's got nothing to do with Hyperton X, or it's not a hypertonic technique developed by Frank. That one comes from neural organization technique. But it's a beautiful technique. It's fairly easy to learn, and I've done it to some of you. And every time I do it, the feedback I get is that this feels great, and you know, can you do it again? So I thought of teaching it, and then you can do it to each other, and you know, you'll see that people actually really like this. It's easy to do. What you start out by is that if you see that somebody might have a little tension in the hip, you take a leg, they stay passive, and you pull the leg out and you ask, at what stage do you feel tension coming?
No nyt.
So that would be around, let's say that's around 80 degrees, if you think in degrees. I do the same on the other side. And quite often the sides are different.
Nyt.
Which is about 45 degrees. And so I have an 80-degree opening angle on the left leg and a 45-degree angle opening on the right leg. So this technique works very nicely. Because there is a straight connection through the sacrospinalis muscles to the cervical vertebrae muscles. And so all I do is I lift up the head like this, and I find the first vertebra, which is between the second and the third. And you put your fingers in there. You don't put the fingers on top of a bone, so you got to sort of play around with this until you find the right touch. And I hold this for a little while like that, so that Mario can relax. And then on the out breath, I'm going to move the head up like this. So I keep both hands, the index and middle finger like this, in between the second and third vertebrae, and then breathe in and out. And on the out breath, I push up, and so that would be about a 45-degree angle. And then on the in breath, I lower the head. Then I move one vertebrae up between 3 and 4. I again breathe in, and on the in breath. And out breath, I go up. In breath, head lowers down. I again go one vertebrae down between 4 and 5. On the out breath, I move up. In breath, head lowers down. And between 5 and 6 is my fourth position. On the out breath, I move up. I move the head to the right, and now only with my right hand, I go back to the first position, which is between number 2 and 3. On the out breath, I go up. In breath, the head lowers between 3 and 4. Between 4 and 5. And between 5 and 6. You turn the head over to the left, between 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 4 and 5. And 5 and 6. Support the head. You have the fingers now on the occiput and the hand on the forehead, and you pull slightly as if you gently stroke the head. So it's not a pull, it's a stroking backwards. And at the end, what you do is you take those fingers here, index and middle finger, and you go behind the back to where vertebra number 2, 3, 4 and 5 are. And don't worry if you can't find them exactly. That is the thoracic vertebra. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So, and you rub. And that serves to anchor what you have just done into the muscle pattern. It feels very nice. And then with the thumbs, you go under the soleus to these points that you have learned to rub when you're doing the switch on. And you just touch here and you rub nicely like that. And then you give a little moment for the body to relax and integrate. And then afterwards, you lift up the leg and you notice the difference between the leg that is coming out. This was about 80 degrees as we had before. So I'm now at about 90 degrees, 95 degrees, and Mario doesn't say anything yet. So there's obviously an increase in motion. On the left there was only a 45 degree. Let's see if there's a little bit more than 45 degrees now. 45 was about here. And now I'm going up to 60 degrees, 70 degrees.
Yeah.
About 70 degrees. So there is a noticeable increase in range of motion. And all because I released some of the muscles in the neck. And I thought that this technique is a really nice technique for you to learn, because if you do it in the end of a session, or if you have a yoga student and they're lying around and you just want to make a little contribution to their life, you just ask, you know, can I just release your neck? Or usually also when you do it to one person, then the next person comes and says, to me too, please, you know, and then before you know it, you have a little line up there. So I hope you enjoy this and that you know, can help you being of service to other people.
I sure did enjoy.